Welcome to AI Marketing, a podcast for sales and marketing professionals that want to increase their sales, leads, and conversions through the use of artificial intelligence solutions. And now, here's your host, Mark Fidelman.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to AI Marketing. Today, we have a special guest. His name is Matt Leta, and he is going to talk about his 4 steps to accelerate innovation in the age of AI. And he's written a book called The Leap Guide that he's going to talk a little bit about. But without further ado, Matt, will you introduce yourself and give us a little background on your AI history?
Hi, sure. Thanks for having me, Mark. My name is Matt Leta. I have been in tech ever since I was 10, and that meant starting my first startup when I was 19, exiting, traveling the world, starting going more into like agency world, helping bigger companies with, broadly speaking, tech, digital products, and that I think about 2015 started involving AI. And so machine learning, computer vision, that kind of stuff, before the modern wave of AI, we started building some products in that space. And over time, we've sort of evolved to sort of champion unlocking kind of operational efficiency and other value using AI for primarily kind of like hardware-focused companies. So industrial companies, energy, manufacturing, that kind of thing. That's been our focus. Aerospace, I think that's a big one.
Yep.
Based in Cambridge, Massachusetts, but I've lived in San Francisco and I've lived in New York. I've lived in Miami, so I'm kind of hopping around.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's like Goldilocks here. You got to find the right place for you. Okay, so let's jump into the 4 steps to accelerate innovation. And first of all, explain what that concept even means, and relate it to what you wrote about in your book.
Sure. Well, it's nice to put a number in the subtitle of a book. So that's why it's 4 steps, and make it seem simple. What it is essentially kind of like an essence of about a decade of our experience working with companies and helping them embrace technology in general, AI in particular, often, and quite a lot of research I've done and we've done as a team, especially over the past couple of years when Gen AI came out, when we started seeing sort of AI maturity come about. And the 4 steps is, of course, a bit of a simplification, but they are essential steps in sort of awakening a cyclical innovation culture. And I guess the point of the book is that as much as AI is about tech to some degree, implementing AI and making it work and making it function is not about tech at all. The tech is everywhere; it's abundant. Anyone pretty much now can dabble with agents and whatnot. But the kind of make it or break it really is with the people. Kind of gaining buy-in, communicating well, avoiding obstacles, not getting our projects shut down, and so on. And that's what the book sort of tackles. It tackles this 4-step process that you can kind of run on repeat in order to increasingly drive buy-in, support within the organization, and step by step enable it to really open up to the ability to interface with the latest in AI, which is tackle data, embrace the models that there are and the agents that are coming.
Okay, well, and we're going to get into that, but first, I always like to ask our guests, what is your favorite AI tool or solution now, and why?
Good question. Right now, it's not going to be a very shocking one, probably. People on our team, I think, would have better and more pinpointed answers. I tend to be more in kind of like strategy and reasoning and debating and trying to come up with ideas or dissect things. And I've really been enjoying using the O1 Pro model from OpenAI.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite incredible. My journey using GenAI actually has included a lot of kind of trying to work with AI as my partner. Even originally at FutureWorks, my partner was AI. It was GPT-4, just as it came out as an experiment.
Yeah.
I shared it all day by day. And progress that has been made in this short time since then is incredible. And I really enjoy the sort of slower thinking, reasoning to some degree, and quite insightful AI counterpart that I can have, which to the best of my knowledge is far smarter than me already, and I think we're just about to see O3 come out, and I'm very excited to see that in action.
Yeah, everyone's talking about it, so I totally understand. So give me a sense of what the first step is, and we don't have to go into too much detail, but people can buy the book and read it for
Yeah,
themselves. But what's kind of the first step?
yeah. So the structure is such: there are some preliminary foundational elements that need to exist for a company to be able to embrace AI. And here we're talking about mid-sized companies or bigger companies primarily, but also smaller ones that just don't have the capacity to embrace this technology, or feel like they're kind of missing the race. They don't have the resources. They don't have the talent, the expertise. What would it be? And so I think the base level really is someone at the company that wants to drive it, right? So that's something that I would always repeat, because without it, it's just not going to happen. So some kind of executive sponsor, someone who wants to drive the initiative. If you don't know who that is, you can select one, and then that person can sort of unblock the path forward. And then the 4 steps
Yeah.
come. The
Okay.
4 steps are essentially locate, evaluate, action plan, and progress from there. And it's a sort of 3-month, 12-week program, happens within 1 quarter, that enables you to go from we have no idea, or to selecting a few people who will be sharing diverse opinions and finding opportunities, to indicating about 25 different opportunities for AI innovation, to selecting several that can be implemented almost immediately, and then finding one that is sort of an opportunity of focus, something that's a bigger project that's worth tackling right now, that has a bigger unlock, and creating a prototype, communication piece, various elements that would allow to drive buy-in for that project. And that all happens in just 12 weeks. And then after that, the cycle repeats. This has multiple outcomes. And I want to give the mic back to you before I go on to a monologue.
Well, we don't have to
yeah.
go too deep, but so this first step is really about what? Defining what it is, what your outcomes are?
L is locate. So you find a few, either you are or find someone who's an innovation champion, a person
Okay.
that will lead a group. That person
Yeah.
finds a group, an idea of 5 people, around 5 people, who are
Mm-hmm.
diverse, coming from different backgrounds. And their role is to think what problems are they seeing. And
Okay.
this is because it's very common to look at shiny AI or SaaS products, and there are thousands of them coming up all the time, and go like, wow, okay, there's this cool new thing. How do we fit it in our company and to solve a problem? Which is sort of a reverse of what actually works. What actually works is indicating, finding what opportunities or issues there are, and then thinking what would solve them. And so
Yep.
that sort of allows the group to find some of those opportunities. And
Okay.
if there are more groups or there are more cycles, some companies are now at like their 4th or 5th cycle. and it scales. That means they indicate hundreds of opportunities, which then feeds into a database, and that database becomes very usable by AI, which can further enhance it. And so you sort of, with very minimal amount of time spent, because that only requires 1 hour per week from the participants, you end up with hundreds of opportunities that, because things have changed, those projects don't have to be big anymore. They can be deployed. They can be done quite fast and every month faster. I think there is a recent statistic that we've already gained about 30% productivity on average just within the last 2 years.
And higher accuracy. I think it's higher accuracy as well.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. So let's move to step 2. What do you do in the second step?
Evaluate. That's the shortest, actually. So the first step is long because everyone's kind of getting in the rhythm, sharing ideas, refining those ideas. And then there is a very brief second step for which I provide a framework that we've tested many times and it really works. It's really easy to get bogged down in selecting what's best and coming up with a lot of criteria and metrics and so on. And that usually really slows down projects. And what we came up with is a sort of matrix framework here that makes it very quick to select the projects that you want to execute on, and that happens just within 1 week, one session, really, if you do it right, and from there you can move on to planning for execution.
Okay, so step 3 is planning for execution.
Action planning, yeah. So you create a roadmap that makes the project sexy for your stakeholders, right? So after that, the group typically is not like the highest executives, right? It's it's kind of like cross-functional group across the company, but it's maybe mid-level sort of people. And so they need to get a lot of approval in order for those opportunities to be actually pursued, for some initiatives to emerge from that. And so that there are 3 weeks to sort of build that roadmap, make it tangible, make it exciting, and communicate it upwards.
Okay, I like that. I mean, this is following a strategy in general, so it's very interesting how it's almost mirroring it, except for the first step, which is having AI help you decide on how to use AI, which I think is brilliant. So the fourth step then would be execution. And is there anything is AI doing the execution? Is it AI plus humans? What tell us what the fourth step is.
The fourth step is progress. Vague title, and that is on purpose because that means advancing, and that includes prototyping. The prototyping, I tackle it in many ways in the book. It can mean many things. Doesn't mean building products. It can be just testing things internally between people, or what would that be, and creating a sort of final communication piece for approval, sort of artifact, if you will, and that will then drive final buy-in. Because the hardest thing we've noticed is there are always people within companies who want to drive things forward. They're very eager to move things forward, and they often are sort of chief innovation officer and the like. But sometimes they're just people, on the team that notice that there are opportunities to improve things, that there are, they could be leveraging AI and gaining a lot of advantage, but they find it really hard to get buy-in. Their projects get put off, they get delayed, and entire companies die because of that. Frankly, exactly. And recently more and more. And so really it becomes a communication exercise at that point. You arrive at progress where you're able to actually move into executing and secure a budget, essentially, and support from executives, from the CFO, the board, depending how the structure of the business works.
Okay, got it. All right. So the execute. This is your 4 steps are how to accelerate innovation in the age of AI, not necessarily on how to execute on it. Are you covering that at all in the book, or is this more about this process and these 4 steps that you created that help you at least get it started within a company and moving like an engine?
I am touching on it, but most companies already have a way to execute on tech. on tech stuff. So, and they have their own ways, and there's 100 different ways. And so I sort of leave it to the company. There's another aspect to it that, you know, I wrote the book to last. And with what we're seeing now in terms of, like, you know, deploying digital products. By the way, it doesn't, you know, the opportunity doesn't need to be a digital product. It can be anything really, but you know, creating those things is becoming faster and faster and different, and the approach is becoming different. I think this year we'll see truly functional AI agents that can deploy entire more complex infrastructures. And so you know, that part is, let's say, flexible. What's important is you gain a lot of you gain buy-in for the initiative. You sort of open up people to become innovators within the company, which creates this distributed innovation culture that is very important now in the fast-paced, you know, times of age of AI, for everyone to be able to contribute, share their ideas, and so on. And the execution is sort of, the cost of execution is going to zero, right? So the important part is to be able to find the ideas, to actually indicate what works, and not get bogged down in hundreds of SaaS products that all will try to lock you in and upsell.
I own quite a few myself. A lot of them are AI related. AI related. We need a super AI app or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Or this process to really focus everybody on the end goal. Okay, so tell us where we can get the book if we want to learn more in order to implement this within our own companies, and any closing thoughts you have.
Sure, super simple. Just go to leap.guide, leap.guide. So not leapguide.com, but just leap.guide. And you'll find the links there. It comes with a free platform as well. There is a bunch of tooling. There is an example database. There is an AI coach that you can use. You don't even need to read the book. You can simply follow the instructions from the AI coach. It can carry on with you it's got its own memory and so on. So it can carry on with you for weeks. So yeah, Leap.guide. And closing thoughts. We share much more. So I've got a second book coming out, which will be actually talking about the super app, coincidentally, quite a bit, and how to get there. But we share much more for free in our blog as well. So it's got like 25,000 subscribers already, and
excellent.
And that's at news.future.works.
All right. Well, with that, Matt, thank you very much for being on the show, and appreciate it. Go ahead and look up that website and get the book if you need it, or play around with the AI coach. I certainly am. And really appreciate you taking the time to discuss this with us.
Likewise. Thanks so much, Mike.
Thank you.